Boom, and we're back again. Now, I think Oda has a checklist of dragons he wants to draw in One Piece, so Loki might not be the last dragon in the story. Hey guys, and welcome back to the One Piece Club. It feels good, so good to say that again. Welcome back, right? The situation in Elbaf was very bad as soon as the flashback ended, and the kids and their relatives were technically about to die. Now, as much as I care about the kids' safety, right? I want to know what happened to Dory and Brogy after they hit each other, right? Was that by mistake? Because Zoro's reaction in that panel indicates that he didn't see that coming at all. And in any case, Jarul survived, and Elbaf knows some of the truth about King Harold and the Holy Knight's plans, which are actually crumbling right now. But most importantly, seeing Gunko actually disobeying Imu's orders and helping Brook gives us many reasons to be optimistic, okay? We still don't know what happened in the past between Brook and Princess Shuri, but it's obvious now that Imu's control over some of the Holy Knights, right, is not absolute. Well, I mean, they're not loyal to Imu, and they need to use their abilities to make sure that they don't break free. And this is a big disadvantage. And I hope to see more of Imu's limitations in this battle, because using Domi Reversi at this scale and controlling Gunko at the same time might have some effect. So now we turn back to the rest of the Straw Hats, and Sanji finally did something useful. Thank you, Oda. Appreciate the crumbs, right? Now, after seeing what Zoro did, like, why keep Sanji like a secondary character hidden in small panels? Like, Oda, you gotta make him do something, bro. You gotta make him do something. And I have an upcoming video about the Straw Hats that I'll be dropping soon, so I'll save my criticism for that. Now, just after Sanji proved that he's Sommers' natural enemy, right? We found out this chapter that they go perfectly, right? He gets smashed by Luffy a few minutes later. I really expected a good fight between these two, but my hopes were betrayed right away. And it's also worth mentioning that Loki's haki is shaking Elbaf. Like, this isn't a normal thing. Elbaf is a huge island, and I don't want to make any power scaling points right now at this moment. But Loki is now definitely top 5. Like, bro, how do you defeat a thing like this? Like, Oda can't even draw him on a single page. He needs to get 2 pages and spill some black paint from a bucket, right? Or something, just to have Loki drawn. Even Luffy in his giant form looks like this. Okay, so while Ripley and the kids survived the fall, thanks to Loki, the thorns still did some pretty bad damage to them, right? Zoro again takes the spotlight, my man, and protects the giants from Saint Sommers. I mean, can we just forget about how Sommers is a stupid psychopath? Right? I don't generally hate psychopathic characters, right? Only those with some charisma. You get what I mean? Just think about Saint Sommers and you actually get the picture of what I'm trying to paint. But this guy is just a silly punching bag. This panel makes me feel like we still haven't seen or gotten everything from Luffy. We have still yet to see the full power of the Nika fruit. Each time Luffy brings some crazy techniques, I get confused. Like, I know that this is cool and the technique itself is very cool and strong, right? But we can't relate to Luffy's actions anymore like this. Every shonen hero has some basic techniques that every reader knows by heart. And I'm not saying it should be something as repetitive as Yatsuga Tensho or the Shadow Clone, but we still need some consistent names. Gear 5 is all over the place. Now, seeing Luffy smashing the hell out of Saint Sommers with one punch is very important. Now, we know that at least Luffy can take on multiple Holy Knights at the same time. And as much as I'm worried about the power balance, right, in the Straw Hat crew, this makes me very optimistic, since there are other Holy Knights, right, that haven't been introduced yet. On Mary Geoise's side, right, we have Imu, Gunko, half-dead Saint Sommers, Killingham, and the Domi Reversi Giants. Basically, Dory and Brogy. Before Luffy and Loki's arrival, the situation, like I said, was desperate. On Elbaf's side, we have Luffy and Loki. That is it. That's it. Okay? Now, don't get mad. I'm just kidding. But what do you want? What else do you want more than this? 2 legendary and chosen devil fruit users with infinite powers are on our side. And this is important because the end of the arc could be near. The kids were saved. Saint Sommers is out of the fight, right? And the scales have changed. And I think it's safe to assume that Emu will retreat unless their pride gets in the way. Like, this could be even more interesting, right? The more reactions we get from Emu, the more we understand the enigmatic character Emu is. I want to see Emu furious, right? Upset and smashing their dumbass heads on the wall. Like, you deserve it, bro. Loki's legendary devil fruit was on Elbaf for 800 years or even more, and Emu had all the time in the world, right, to investigate it. Yet he couldn't find it, not to mention that they let the Nika devil fruit get stolen by Shanks. But in any case, right, Loki's devil fruit is called the Ryuri no Mi model Nidhogg. See, in Norse mythology, Nidhogg is a dragon who is said to chew on the world tree, Yggdrasil. This is a beautiful parallel made by Oda, as Loki can be seen as this rebellious giant who refused to be constrained by Elbaf's traditions. Now, according to myths, the roots of the tree are trapping the dragon, so he begins to gnaw at them to free himself. Even Ratatoskr, right, or should I say Ratata, my boy Ratata. The squirrel is also mentioned in mythology, but with a different role. Okay, so Jarul explains the simple yet overpowered abilities of this devil fruit. Sai. The bigger you are at the moment of eating the devil fruit, the bigger the dragon you transform into. That is so simple, yet so powerful. So Loki was basically the ideal user of this devil fruit. And I wonder if the same logic applies to all dragon devil fruit models. Because in that case, and if Kaido really died, we might see a giant eating his reincarnated devil fruit. The dragon would, in this case, be much bigger than Kaido's, but to be honest, I still don't know why Ragnir prevented anyone from eating the fruit this whole time. Are you telling me that for this whole time, nobody in Elbaf was born with the same talent as Loki? Or does it mean that it's simply fate? Because to me, I lean towards the second possibility. And by the way, Ragnir and the squirrel Ratata are two separate things. Like, this is confusing. So basically, once upon a time, Nika fought against a legendary giant who had this devil fruit, right? It's not Joy Boy, it's Nika. This giant also had a hammer, Ragnir, and an ice squirrel who was accompanying him. Now, according to the legend, of course, right? That's what it says. But now let's put the problem of how Ratatoskr possessed Ragnir and focus on the potential plotline. If these legendary beings, such as Nika, are devil fruit users, then what are devil fruits in the first place? The Nika devil fruit is modeled after Nika, but this giant transforms into a dragon modeled after Nidhogg. So is this giant Nidhogg itself, or is he a devil fruit user? Let's go with the assumption that this giant is the origin of the fruit and he transformed into the fruit after his death. So does this mean that Ratatoskr protected the fruit for thousands of years? Like, what the hell is this? But we can also interpret everything in another way, right? What if this legend passed down in Elbaf is actually inaccurate? What if this is not Nika, but Joy Boy who used to fight against this giant? In this case, everything starts to make sense. And we get the necessary parallels with Luffy and Loki. Now, as for Ratatoskr, or my guy Ratata, who possessed the hammer, I think that it's either a devil fruit ability or something random that Oda came along with while he was writing the story. For example, right, a paramecia devil fruit that allows it to possess objects and unify with them, right? On top of the size, Loki can spit lightning. Loki can spit lightning, my people. It's good actually because Kaido was an oriental dragon who could spit fire, and now we have a Germanic dragon who can spit lightning. Sarcasm aside, I think it's important to note that the snow that started falling suddenly wasn't because of Loki's abilities. I think it's Ratatoskr's ability. How does that fit with the possession ability though? Because I have no idea. Like, I'm serious, right? Oda is giving us too little information these days. And I know he can delay the action, but these things related to the power system and abilities must be explained, Oda. So I hope we get that in the future. And one other thing, right, that I noticed is this. Nika's shield has the same design as Mihawk's sword, Yoru. I repeat, Nika's shield has the same design as Mihawk's Yoru. Very necessary information, extraordinary information right there. Because this is definitely not a coincidence. This is not a coincidence, guys. If a relationship between the 12 swords and Nika is established, we might get some crazy revelations about Mihawk, right? Now that I think about it, the way Mihawk brought Shanks Luffy's first wanted poster kind of suggests he knew the truth. He knew Shanks' plan, and he knew the truth of the Gamu Gamu no Mi that Luffy ate. So again, with these two's arrival, I think that Elbaf is safe. But there is the possibility that Imu would make a gamble. I mean, the two most dangerous individuals are right now in front of their holy knights. Imu should kill them and somehow steal the two devil fruits before they could master their abilities, right? Now, I don't know about Loki, but for sure, Luffy has yet to bring out his full potential for his fruit. So this could escalate into a big war, and the holy knights can easily teleport to Elbaf using the circle. And who knows, right? We might actually see Imu there as well. Because this could be the last opportunity for Imu to eliminate their biggest threats. And if Imu retreats now, Elbaf will combine forces with Luffy, and the most powerful army will become one of his several allies. I mean, at this point, Luffy is the head of a de facto world government, right? He's technically allied with dozens of islands and strong pirate crews. I mean, just Wano and Elbaf are strong on their own, right? But we'll have to see how events turn out, or how the events unfold, especially knowing that Gonko might still have awakening abilities. The same thing goes for Killingham. And the other thing that I'm really worried about is the huge gap in power that Oda has placed between Luffy and the rest of the Straw Hats. Not just the Straw Hats, but in fact, all characters in Elbaf right now. Now, as much as that gives them hope to defeat the world government, it's essentially overshadows other characters, making their role unnecessary. I want to see other characters have glorious moments, even for 2 or 3 panels, right? Like I said in the beginning, I'm going to make a video about this, so please make sure to watch it. I might also make another video about the power creep problem in One Piece. I know that every shonen story has to reach their tier in power by the end of the story compared to the first chapters. But this situation is getting weird in One Piece. Oda has been overusing mythical Zoans in the story and has been actually sidelining Paramecius. I know that mythical Zoans are better for relating current events to the past legends and the Void Century, but Paramecius are always more creative and have a unique set of skills, right? Unique abilities, I believe, can make you win in certain fights, but not in others, right? I've always enjoyed seeing how each user of their abilities find creative ways to make their devil fruit effective. And I wish Oda brought that back. Anyway, I also hope you enjoyed this video. And if that is the case, right, if you actually enjoyed the video, please subscribe, hit the like button, and let's move out of the 100 subscribers rut that we are in. I'm starting from scratch from my old channel. I want to repeat, right? My channel got taken down due to copyright restrictions. So I appreciate you guys watching my videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!